Hello and happy holidays to all of my diary readers, new, old, and everyone in between. It is Dinah, and I am back with another live for LIVEMAS. It's late, and we are tired as a collective, mommy, daddy, and baby. So you will be hearing Aston in the background. Oh, gosh. Look how cute my nails look. Polished. But yeah, so she's making her noise because she's tired. Goodness. So I do apologize for the poor quality of these lives lately because I am streaming. Because I was going to say shooting or filming, but I'm like, no, that's not the right word. Since I am streaming on the laptop, so it is different quality. And when the battery is getting ready to die, it gets really choppy. So last night's live, it was a fun, interesting story, but at the end, it just got super choppy. Oh, goodness. I do apologize if I am yawning. But yes, oh, goodness. I am going to have this one be pretty short, this live. It's probably just going to be about 15 minutes. So you don't have me for a long time. You do have me for a good time. And you know your girl is known for giving good times. But yes, so I did have some ideas of what stories to tell you because, like I always say, your girl's life is like a movie. And that's why I keep saying whether you want the juice or the tea, you're going to get your thirst quenched because I got the stories to tell, okay? But I'm like, I didn't know, it's so many, I just didn't know which one to tell. And I'm going to be quick tonight because, like I said, we're tired and I want to spend time with my family. I want to hold Aston because she's sleepy. Tired. Sorry. Excuse me. She is with her daddy. Aston is with her daddy. Not me having smile lines because I smile a lot. I have a nice smile. Not me playing with my face on live. But yes, so I would like for you all to pick the topic of this type of story that you would like to hear. So we have, of course, I'm trying to do more normal things. That's Aston's monitor. Okay. Lots of people around. Yeah, anyway, so we have lots of different stories to tell, but I want to focus on more fun, upbeat, normal things, versus my more triple X rated stories. Excuse me. Okay. But yeah, I have childhood stories, crazy teenage stories, college time stories, and then of course I have my epic tales to tell at some point at the right time. Experimenting with recreational, vices. I've tried, or I'll say I've used. How do I want to word this? I've had a time with herb, Molly, and Snowflake. And so that's story time, me trying those things out and getting into that in my experience. And then, of course, look at me getting all shy. And then, of course, I have the more explicit things where, I'll clean it up. I won't be gross, but my first time, my first threesome, my first what was I gonna say, like the first time I got solicited, like my first offer, to do after parties and stuff. What else? Yeah, just like all types of stories in like that genre, but for right now I want to focus on like the more fun upbeat stuff. So like, shoot, I can't even think, but like stuff like that. So you guys get to pick, you guys get to choose what story you want to hear next, and then I will tell you all about my crazy times. So yeah, so like just throw around some ideas. Like I asked my daughter's dad, I was like, when you're getting to know somebody, what's like some of the things you like to ask? Like, what's some of the things you want to know about them? And he's like, what do they do for work? I'm like, no, like about them as a person, like, like their character. But yeah, so stuff like that. Of course, I've had all kinds of jobs. So if you want to hear about that, that is a story time in itself. My experience in the food, beverage, and hospitality industry, in marketing. I had marketing jobs before. I used to be a nanny. So I could do those little story times working with the kids and the families. I did retail. So all those little things I could tell you about my experience and how I got into all of those. I'm trying to think what else. I was very mischievous growing up, and I was always getting into something. So I didn't really do fights. So, I mean, I could do a fighting story time, but if y'all want to hear that, but I didn't really do fights. So, yeah. What else? Yeah, if you want to hear about all my crazy shenanigans as a teenager, all the stuff I was getting to. I used to have crushes on my teachers in high school, and I would like blatantly, flat out flirt with them. And I can recall on different occasions making them nervous because it was two teachers in high school that I was interested in, and they were both married white men. But I was like, I knew I wasn't going to do anything with them. I just like to flirt with them and just mess with them. So we could do my high school crush experience story time. What else? But yeah, so I don't know. At first I was tired, but I kind of got energy, so I might be able to tell you something. I need a topic. Because the story I thought I was going to tell, I don't know. I don't feel like telling that right now. I don't feel like that's that ain't for tonight. So, but yeah, your girl is pretty. I've lived my heat. So, but yeah, your girl is pretty. I've lived a full life. Within 30 years, I lived a pretty full life. I met lots of different types of people, and I have lots of different experiences. So I have lots to share. I need a topic to narrow it down, like what to say. But I did try to like Google. I guess I could. I did try to Google like things, like different story time ideas. Because right now I'm kind of going blank. Because the things that I can't talk about, I don't want to talk about right now. So I need like some fresh ideas. That's what it is. I need some fresh ideas. So, yeah. Feel free to jot down. I was listening to Aston. Feel free to jot down any ideas that you guys may have. I took the line off. Let me see real quick. Why I say signal loss? Oh, because I'm in the other room. Lots of people around. Baby, please come home. Getting back home. Meeting a celebrity. Okay, it says meeting a celebrity. Breaking up with an ex. Let me see. All right, let's go down the list. Horrible date, embarrassing childhood anecdotes. Leaving your parents' house, getting to meet a celebrity, living with a crazy person at the time you got into a lot of trouble at school, getting rid of an ex, best or worst year of your life, spring break adventures, traveling alone, Uber, strangest rides. I got some of those, but embarrassing party. Okay, maybe I could do that embarrassing party. But let's see what else they got. Tales of best friends, getting swindled, being catfish, meeting an online friend, college experience, first trip abroad, first job, fake friend. Okay, fake friend or embarrassing parties, pregnancy, Valentine's Day, I guess. Time spent in the hospital getting ripped off, that time you got arrested. Getting asked how you met your partner, leaving a job, a teacher confrontation, best gift, playing sports. Okay, so it's either like the fake friend or I'm gonna go with the embarrassing party. I'm gonna go with that one. Okay, so that's the story we're gonna go with. Okay. So yes. So of course, growing up when I was younger, I was very like outgoing and a little social butterfly. So once we moved around a lot. So once I got to high school, I was new, of course. I knew a few people from my middle school because some of the people from my middle school moved also. Well, I can't say they moved. They ended up going to the same high school that I was going to. So I knew some of the people from there. But for the most part, I was just like brand spanking new. But it was freshman year. So, pretty much a lot of people don't know everybody because in high school, you have all the different middle schools coming together. All the different middle schools coming together to that one high school because it's like for the district, right? So I took it upon myself to get to know people through throwing parties. So I attempted to throw a total of 3 parties my freshman year of high school. Yeah. And only one of them was like decent. Okay. So growing up, of course, I had a very strict dad, right? But my dad, by the time I was in high school, my dad had remarried and stuff. So he didn't live with us, obviously. He lived with his next family, like his new wife and the kids he had with her. But he would still come around sometimes, right? And he would still come over and spend time with us or whatever. So once I was in high school and I was, making some new friends or whatever, once I felt like I was, kind of known a little bit, I decided to throw a party because, I got this big spirit and personality and lots of energy, and I really enjoy having a good time. Like, I'm a very fun person when I want to be, And so I'm like, we're in high school, I want to continue getting to know people, like, let's have a party. But high school it was a really big high school, and so I didn't know enough people. So this is how I attempted to throw my first party. I ended up not inviting enough people. That's one. I had the lamest party invitations. Like, I think I printed out flyers. Like, I don't remember what I did. I think I might have gotten like party invites from Dollar Tree and just handed out to people in school and class. It was just really rinky dink lame. Like it was definitely given like fifth grade birthday party or something. Like it was not, look, it was not exclusive, top tier. Like it was not like something that you just itching to go to. So I had lame invites and I did not invite enough people. So for my first party, nobody came. My first party, nobody came. Okay. I mean, okay, some people did come. My close friends, like I think maybe two or three people that were like my close friends came. And then on top of that, I ordered pizza to feed them. So I ordered like Domino's pizza. And of course, like in high school, I was not drinking. Still to this day, I'm not a big drinker. Like sometimes I'll drink, but I'm not a big drinker. Like I don't really like alcohol like that. And it makes me sick. So in high school, I was not drinking at all. And I definitely was not smoking. So there was no drugs, no alcohol. The only food was like Domino's pizza. And nobody came. And so my one girlfriend who showed up, she stayed for as long as she could, and then she was getting ready to go. And then the pizza came, and I remember her walking right back in just to eat the pizza. But yeah, and so that was the first party. It was super embarrassing. I was embarrassed. But thank goodness, like I was not very well known, so it kind of was like not a thing. Like nobody was really talking about it, like this big faux pas, right? And so then the second party, so I tried again as the year went on, and I got, more known, and I was making more friends and stuff. I threw a second party later in the school year because, I got more friends now and people know me more. So I threw a second party, and at this time, so I have a lot of siblings, but we didn't all always go to the same schools. So in high school, it was really my mom, myself, and my one younger brother. My dad and my older brother and my older sister, Kay, if you watch The Last Story Time, then you know Kay. They stayed up north in the north suburbs with my dad and his new family. So they went to school up north, but they would come and visit us on the weekends, my older brother and my older sister, Kay. So the second party, they came to visit. It was so funny. So the second party, people actually started showing up. Oh, wait, let me think. Okay, this is what happened. So the second party, right, I had this one girlfriend at the time. To me, it seemed like she was kind of popular, but she was really kind of like a wannabe. So she actually wasn't popular. She just would like always hang around popular kids because she was like a wannabe. And then it was like this neighborhood girl who lived like a block over, and she was more cool and more in with the in crowds. So the wannabe friend, she helped me throw the party. So she helped me make the flyers and stuff or whatever. And so we invited more people because at that point I knew more people. And yeah, and it was a way better turnout. But I had my mom and I had my younger brother in the basement because that's where we was having the party. Like it's a 3-story home, upstairs, main level, and a basement. So my mom and my younger brother, they were downstairs in the basement cleaning up before the guests arrived. So, so it could be presentable and stuff. And then once the people started showing up, me, like I'm starting to feel like pressure because I'm like, okay, like the party's supposed to be in the basement. I don't want them upstairs in like the actual living quarters. And so I'm like going downstairs and checking on them, and I'm rushing them because I'm getting mad because I'm like, we're supposed to be having this party. I don't want to keep like stalling upstairs in the living space, So I just told them after a while, because I was like getting frustrated. I'm like, it's okay. Like, however it looks right now, that's is good enough. And so the girl who helped me throw the party, the flyers we made, we just printed those out. And she wanted it to be like a pajama juke jam thing. So this is way back like 2008, 2009. So that was like a thing back then. Little juke jams, little house juke jam parties. A juke jam is basically like a twerk fest. So back then they called it juking. Nowadays they call it twerking, whatever. So anyways, so it was a pajama themed juke jam. And so you have to come and wear your pajamas. And so I did have a few like popular kids show up, but it wasn't like a huge turnout. It was kind of like a small gathering, but it was way better than the first party, because the first party only like 3 people came. So and then the worst part though, I actually didn't even have any like music. I didn't have any music of my own. All I wanted to do was invite people to come over and party, but I didn't have like any Well, we did. We had these really big speakers, but I mean, like, I didn't have like a DJ. I didn't have like a playlist or anything. And so I remember going upstairs, because once the people got here, I'm like, all right, the party's downstairs. Like I had my mom and my brother go upstairs. And then I ran upstairs to my second eldest sister's bedroom, because she was older and she was very popular in high school. And I'm like, okay, so she should have some cool music. She should know, she should know what the kids like to get down to, because my taste in music is, I'm not in my generation. My taste in music is different than what they would have liked. Okay. So I ran up to her room, and I'm going through her room, looking for some CDs, because we still had CDs back then. And so I just played one CD like the whole night on repeat, just one CD on repeat the whole night. I should have got a DJ. But and so so it was a good, decent little turnout. I had the lights off. I had very minimum lighting, because it's like a party. I wanted it to be dark. I don't remember what kind of food we had. I just remember it was just one CD playing on repeat the whole night. And I do remember one of the guys asked me, like, I could tell he was irritated, but he was trying to be cool and sympathetic, acting like he was trying to help. He's like, is this the only CD you got? You don't have any more? I'm like, no, it's just this one. But people were still doing their thing. People were still dancing and socializing and stuff. And then my brother, my older brother, my older sister, Kay, they came for the weekend. And I'm downstairs having this little party. And they come and they surprised. And to this day, my sister cracks me up. She tells me she was so surprised when she came home and went in the basement. She saw it was like all these lights were out, and she just saw little teenagers running around, because I'm pretty sure we were freshmen in high school. I'm pretty sure this was freshman year. And she said she came down the stairs. So my older sister, Kay, is 1 year older than me, so she would have been a sophomore. She said she came down the stairs, and she said some boy ran past and smacked her on the booty. And she's like, she'll never forget it. And she was like, I was so surprised. Like, I came home, and I'm like, Medina's having a party? And then my older brother, he's a few years older than me, so he probably would have been like a junior. Yeah, he probably would have been like a junior in high school. And he's like, look at me talking about it's going to be 15 minutes. I'm doing a full story time. Let me wrap this up, because I know Aston is, so I need to be done by 9. So I got 9 minutes to wrap this story up. So anyway, so my older brother, he's gonna try to summon me upstairs, try to act like try to act authoritative and try to be like, oh, you having a party downstairs? Try to act like he my daddy, but we already got a daddy. At the time, we already had a daddy. And like, oh, you throwing a party downstairs? I don't know. He was trying to like scold me and correct me and stuff, tell me like to send people home. I'm like, no, we're having a party. I'm like, what? Because I was always sassy. I'm like, what? we're having a party and nobody's leaving until they want to leave. And then what else happened? And then I remember I'm down there and I'm trying to just make sure everybody's having a good time. And I ended up letting one of the boys who I actually didn't even like I never really liked him. I kind of like didn't like him. And he used to date one of my girlfriends at the time. I don't know if they were dating. Like, I don't know if they were on or off. Because I remember they would date, break up, get back together. So I remember being in the basement and he was sitting down there on the couch with me. And we was just talking and stuff. And remember, I used to have really large breasts in high school. Like, I was a double D. And a lot of guys would always like try to fill me up and stuff in high school. But yeah, and so that's what happened. So he was over there talking to me on the couch and stuff, and then he was down there like filling me up, and I was just like letting him. And I don't know why. I just was thinking like it's a party. I'm just trying to make sure everybody got a good time. And eventually at some point it ended. I think one of the boys, because remember, no drugs, no alcohol. I wasn't doing that. Because I know some kids, they would have lots of beers and alcohol at their parties. No. So you could bring your own stuff or you could pregame or after game, but nothing like that. I'm not supplying no alcohol. So one of the boys ended up getting pretty drunk. So a lot of them left because they had to like go and leave with him and make sure he's okay. And that's pretty much what happened. So that was my second party. And then my third party, or my attempted. So the third one was an attempt. So the third one, okay, let me go back. So the second party, towards the end, the neighborhood girl who was actually kind of cool, and she was like in with the in crowd. I think she was like a lesbian, more like a stud. Her sister was friends with my older sister who was popular. So that's how we knew each other. We didn't actually hang out. We would only like talk if our sisters were hanging out and we just happened to be with our sisters. But yeah, so she came over with her possibly girlfriend or something. And that was towards the end of the party. And I was just telling her like everything that happened and stuff. And she was like, yeah, you should have let me plan your party. She was like, it would have been a better turnout. It would have been like, she was just saying she would have did everything differently. And she definitely would have taken care of the music aspect. So the third party, so I already had my first two parties, right? So attempt at the third one, you got to keep going and you learn from your mistakes. I'm like, okay, now I know what to do. Better planning, better music, and good food, okay? Yeah. And so this time, I do flyers again. I put my home phone number on at the time because I don't think I had my own cell phone at that time. No, I didn't have my own cell phone. I had my own cell phone in 8th grade, but I broke it, and so I didn't get a new one until probably like sophomore year. So yeah, so I put my home telephone number on there back when we used to have landlines. This is like 2008. Yeah. And so, yeah, so I put the home number on there because just in case people need to call and ask for like directions or just any questions that they might have. And yeah, so the third party was going to be like a rager. Like it was going to be it. Because I had got so many phone calls that day. So I'm feeling like, yes, like I made it. Like finally, I'm more known. People know me a lot more. More people are interested. Like after that second party, they probably was talking about it. But I mean, it wasn't great, but it was still like pretty chill. And so it was like looking like it was going to be a good turnout for the third party. My daddy. My daddy, y'all. My daddy now. Remember, he did not live with us, but he would come over sometimes, check on us, and yeah, just play dad for a day. So this happened to be the day he decided to come over. Now, keep in mind, my mom was always my biggest fan, my biggest supporter growing up. She always supported everything I did. Like I said, she was helping me clean up for the second party. But yeah, and so she already knew that I had planned on throwing another party. And my mom was cool with it because I get a lot of my characteristics and traits from her. Like, my mom is very outgoing, a social butterfly. She likes to have fun. She likes to make sure other people are having fun that are around her, She got the energy. But when my dad came around, she was playing like she didn't know what was going on. And so my dad was home, and I believe I found out because I got home from school and he was there, and I was so mad. So it must have been like a Friday then, because I remember coming home from school and he was there. So it had to have been a Friday. And so everybody started calling. I'm telling you, the calls are pouring in. And my dad, it's so embarrassing after all these years. Like, still, I feel it. I feel the butterflies as I'm telling it inside. It's like embarrassing that this happened. Like, so he like summoned me to the bedroom, to the master bedroom. And like, my dad, he passed away. So when he was alive, he was, pretty tall. He was probably like 6'1" or something. He was this tall, dark-skinned man. He had a dad belly, He had a big belly because he used to love to eat. And so the point is, he would be bald, tall, dark-skinned, and very intimidating. And so he summoned me to the bedroom, and he's like, so what you think you doing? He like, you thought you was about to throw a party or something in my house? And I'm just like, I'm silent, because whenever we would get our talkings to from him, I would just be quiet, because for me, in my mind, no response was the best response, because like I mentioned before, my siblings and I, we get our temper from our dad. Like, he's a hothead. He could flip real quick. And he was very unpredictable, violent, mean, all of that. So when he's going in on you, it's best to just keep quiet. Or at least that was my approach. So he's like, asking me what I thought I was doing, trying to throw a party in his house and stuff, and I'm just being silent. But on the inside, I'm super duper mad, because I'm a teenager at this point. I'm a little bigger, not like heavy bigger, but like, in stature. And so I'm like, I don't want to be getting bullied around by him anymore, Like, I want to be free to do what I want to do. And so I'm like, my blood is boiling on the inside, and he's like, people are calling, and he's picking up the phone, and he's like handing me the phone, and he's like, you gonna tell each and every one of them kids that the party is canceled. I was so embarrassed. And so I had to do that. Every time somebody called, I had to say, it's canceled. I was so embarrassed. Like, I was not saying it with pride or anything. Like, I sounded like literally under duress. Like, somebody would call, and I pick up the phone, and I'm like, no confidence in my voice whatsoever. I'm just like, yeah, the party's canceled. And I was so heated, because it was so many people calling. I'm like, this is gonna be it, my big break. Like, this is gonna be like the party, And so yeah. And so once that was done, what did he say? Oh yeah. So once that was done, he asked me, why did I do that, or why did I think I could do that, something like that. Because my dad was very, very strict. Like, we could not do darn near anything other than work. Like, he would just have us do chores, and he would use us for like child labor for his businesses. Like, Like, that's it. Like, just work. That's it. Don't do nothing else but work. And so he asked me, why would I do something like that? Why did I think I could do something like that? And this was one of the few times I snapped on him, because I never really talked back to him or anything, because, of course, I didn't want to get beat on. But I was so mad at that point, because, I was a teenager, and in my mind, I'm like, he ruined it for me. Like, this was my big shot. Like, I was about to be known, and he ruined it. And so I just went off, not really go off all the way. Not the way I would go off on, like, somebody, like, but went off, like, on him. If that makes sense. Not the way I would go off, like, on a peer, but yeah. So anyway, so I was like, because, like, I raised my voice and I yelled a little bit, not too much. I was like, because we can never do anything in this house. I was like, we got to ask for permission to breathe around here. And he was like, you got that right. I was so mad. I was like, why would he say that? Like, I was so mad. He was like, yeah, you got that right. And yeah, he just told me, like, anytime somebody calls for that party, tell them it's canceled. Oop, the battery is about to die. But yeah, so those were my embarrassing times I tried to throw. I successfully threw 2 parties, even though they didn't have the best turnout. And then I attempted to throw a great party, but it didn't happen. And then the icing on the cake, the cherry on top. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I was going to say the cherry on top of the ice cream cone. Excuse-moi, I keep having hiccups. Okay. Once we finally got back to school, so that must have been a Friday, so we get back to school on Monday or whatever. And I'm in the lunch line. And I'm just, oh, goodness, y'all. All that day they was riding me. The kids at school was riding me all that day. I'm in the lunch line. The boys behind me are gossiping about the party that never happened. They like, yeah. I remember this one boy. He's like, yeah, it got canceled. Like trying to be all up in my ear about it. I just kept walking. I'm like, look. There's nothing y'all can say. I already feel terrible. My dad ruined everything. I'm already so upset. He ruined it for me. There's nothing y'all can say. I'm already so upset. And then I'm in math class, I believe, after lunch. And then they was talking about it in math class. But back then, like, I was cool with my math teacher. My math teacher was, like, trying to be my best friend or something. Like, probably because I was so good at math. So he would be super nice to me. So they was trying to, like, ride me in class, and he just shut it down immediately, like, no mas. Like, the second they tried to, because I guess he must have already heard kids in the halls talking about this party that never happened at Medina's house. And so once we got in class, he shut it down, like, we're not talking about that. We're going to focus on this math. And I was just so sad and depressed that day. Like, I was not happy. Like, I'm always smiling. I was not smiling and being bubbly that day because I already knew. Okay, so that's my story time. Happy LIVEMAS. Happy holidays. I love you all. Good night. Thanks for spending time with me.